Hey guys, this is going to be one of my extended video topics. Some of it's repeated in some smaller videos that I did, but I felt that this was something that needed to be talked about, and also some other subjects. So, I wanted to go over your aftercare once you are discharged and it hits your 1 year mark, and you have to go in for an angiogram, to check to make sure that your vessels look okay. If you had a clip procedure, that everything looks great. And also, if you're like me, I have a VP shunt placed. So, this is something that's going to happen every single year. I had it all planned out that I was supposed to get, my angiogram was supposed to be yesterday. And like 3 days before the angiogram, the radiology group contacted me and said that I owed close to $4,000, which is pretty much my out-of-pocket max. So I was like, there's just no way I can come up with that money up front. I don't think anyone can, especially this day and age. So I was very defeated and pissed off, and thankfully I ended the call saying, I will contact you guys back. Call my insurance company, and they said they can't collect that money up front. So I called them back and told them, here's my insurance, call them. And so they did, and then they called me back and said it's in their policy that they collect up front and refund money later. So she was not budging. And you always get far with using keywords and also not being aggressive. So, like I've said on my short videos, she was ready. She was already amping up, ready to like match whatever attitude level I was about ready to get to. I could tell it. I mean, she was ready to battle with me. So I said, look, I understand you're doing your job, so this has nothing to do with you. So I know that this is your company procedure. So anything I'm about ready to say has nothing to do with you. You're doing your job. So she calmed down a bit. She didn't budge. So I said, okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and cancel this. And if I get another ruptured aneurysm, I guess we can do my angiogram then. After I said that, she's like, well, let me contact my manager. And so they were able to get it down to a $340. And I was like, I can do that. So I have my angiogram rescheduled for March 11th. But my message is, don't take the first thing that someone says and be like, okay, or feel defeated. You do have negotiating power, and you're not going to get anywhere if you are like at level 10 anger, which is why I ended the phone call the first time they contacted me, because I was pretty much at a level 10, and you're not going to get anywhere from that. So I'm glad I took a day to decompress, get my thoughts together, and then you know, when you call them back, remember they're employees. They are doing what they're being told to do, collect. So I have theories on why they want to collect my money up front, or thought that I could, probably due to where I work and my zip code. Not to sound snotty by any means. I live in an apartment, but I live in a nice area. So maybe they looked at that and were like, oh, she can afford this. So I don't know. It doesn't matter regardless. Period. So the old way of doing things was you go in, you give them your insurance information, they process the claim, and then they bill you later. But, you know, people are just struggling on trying to pay these outrageous medical bills that they are not getting paid. So now they're being forced to try to collect money up front, and they rather collect it up front and refund you later. That way they're not at a loss. So I understand that way of thinking, but it's just a shame that our medical care is suffering because of that. So I don't know what could be done different. You know, I know that there's a lot of people that like socialized medicine, and there's a lot of there's some good and there's some bad on that. And you know, I get feedback from other people where it's like, it's great, it's free healthcare, but like you just have to go through so many levels to get to what you need. And then, you know, waiting a long time. We had a family friend who lives in the UK who waited forever to get a procedure done. You know, we're in the US, you could probably schedule it the next week. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to private insurance compared to socialized medicine. I mean, it's great that you're not financially responsible for that, but you know, you're just not going to get in as quick. And you know, I don't know exactly like what it looks like for stroke victims in that area. I am part of a forum of the UK for my type of stroke, and the hoops they have to go through is really crazy. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I just don't think it would, I just, you know, sway against it. So I just wish there was a happy medium with healthcare, you know, driving down the cost. And I work in healthcare, so been in healthcare for 18 years, and I've been on all sides. So I get the hospital side of it, but you know, I get the patient side of it. But I do believe that the cost of medical care is extremely high. And you know, here's the other thing: you can go in and get a procedure done, and the place of service is covered, your person performing your procedure is covered, but the anesthesiologist they're using is not network. But you don't know that. And so all of a sudden you get a bill because it's a team of people, and they're not all contracted to the same insurance companies. They don't have the same contract. And I think that's where the problem lies, is that if you are going to use anesthesiologists or whoever, they need to be contracted the same way as the physicians that are performing that, because that happens all too often. It's not just like an angiogram, but like let's say you're going in for an endoscopy or, you know, whatever, and the anesthesiologist, you know, is there, and they're I've been there, the anesthesiologist comes in and is like, can you sign this? And it's pretty much saying that they're not network if you don't read the fine line. They don't say it out loud. But you're already like undressed, hooked up, you're ready to go. And then it's like, can you sign this? So that's something that there's so much in healthcare that just it's fractured, and it needs to be reorganized with working with health insurance companies, because I don't want to lose private insurance. I like the fact that I can choose who I want to go to. I'm not like having to get permission to, for my primary to go to a certain doctor. Like, I can bypass my primary physician and, go and, see whoever I feel like seeing. So, because I have gone to suggestions from my primary physician and I've not liked the doctor, and I'm like, no, never again. So doing my due diligence and reading up on, different like, facilities or whatever, I have come across great physicians that tackle each one of my problems, and it's been great because I had that choice. To see that person. I didn't have to go through any kind of hoops. So, but anyways, that's just my part on that is if you live in a country with socialized medicine, I guess this really doesn't apply to you. But if you live in the United States, please know that do not take the first option and be okay with it. You can bargain with them all the way down, but you have to use your words carefully, and you have to be very pleasant. So you're not going to get anywhere if you are just raging mad. So it's human nature for us when something happens, and we're reactive people, so we want to react like, are you kidding me? That goes in the workplace too. If something happens and you're just like, excuse me, and you want to respond, and be like, no. But it's like you got to walk away from it, take a deep breath, and collect yourself, and then you're going to have a better response. So, because how many times has anyone ever sent something out and they're like, oh my God, I wish I would have waited on that and not sent it through, because now, like, this is, something could happen. So, trust me, I would be in a lot of trouble if I sent something off with my gut reaction in the first place. So I have to take these little moments and just be like, forget it. So anyways, that's my part. Negotiate. So my next part is threshold. So lately, I have been very stressed out to the max. I've had a very hard period these past like 4 months or so now, maybe more if we go back. And it gets good and then it gets bad, it gets good and then it gets bad. And lately it seems like everything is a domino effect. So it's like, so for this week, for instance, my angiogram, when they called, was the tipping point where everything just kind of started collapsing, and that entered into the work. And things things were stressing me out, and out of character, I was just getting very upset about stuff, and I'm like, what's my threshold of handling certain situations? When is enough? When do you say enough? And I'm questioning that constantly. When do I say no? Like, my threshold has been met, and I'm not going to take any more of this. So I am dealing with that right now, where I am like, I cannot let certain events control the way I am, because it is pouring into other aspects of my life, and I can't let that happen, because I rely on these other aspects of my life. So I'm trying to think of like my threshold of like, what to say yes and what to say no to. So I'm not going to go into great detail, but no one from my home life, period, but not even going to go into major detail, but not treated like a human being this past week in different areas. And it left me feeling very defeated, and that's when I questioned my threshold of hearing, don't let it get to you. And it's like, normally I wouldn't let it get to me, but now I'm like, I do have a threshold though. So, and I'm trying to figure out how to handle this part, and it's going to take a lot. So we've all encountered that, where we've had stuff happen in our life, and there's a threshold of what we will take, and sometimes we have to take it, and it's like, why? It's to me, it's insane. I just, like, when I wake up in the morning, I don't need to give 100%. I can give 60, I can give 70, I can give 80. I can give 0. But every day I get up and I give over 110% every single day. Every single day. No matter what. No matter how hard something is. No matter how much someone puts up a wall. No matter how much someone tries to tear me down. No matter what, I deliver. Constantly. And maybe that's something I need to work on personally myself. That, why am I giving 110%? It is something that's been ingrained in me by my parents. Always give everything you got, because at the end of the day, when you're done, you know that you did everything possible. So I am trying to find a good balance of what areas in my life do I give 110%, and what areas do you start, going down. So it's just, maybe it's just a bad week, but a lot of things just didn't set well with me. So these are just things I have to figure out. I know that we all deal with this, so I know that we're all in that kind of box of how much of yourself do you give before you say it's too much. So, but again, it's not personal in my personal life. So I feel highly supported personally. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just like, it's like a mixture of like a lot of things. Um, it's kind of uh, learning how to like not let things affect you. And so I say that if you are feeling like it's just, things are just not going good, write out the list of things that are just not working out for you, what's working for you, and find something in the middle. Like, try to find the source of what it is. So, like, um, for me, I can say it was the whole angiogram debacle that really tore me to pieces. There's another section I will not talk about, but you know, just trying to figure things out. You know, it sucks, guys. We're all stuck. We're trapped. You know, our lives are just like, um, we're prisoners, basically, of like what we can and can't do, what we can and can't say. Um, it is just like such, there's so much poison out there. And you know, COVID crap, you know, still just not even like anywhere near what I thought it would be. So um, it just sucks. So, you know, you just, it's just, life is just not the same anymore. So, like I've said in the very beginning, when I had my stroke, this was right before the COVID happened, and I did not know I was going to survive and wake up to this hell. So, you know, I think we're just all getting anxious and just like really worn out over everything. So, but, anyways, my message is, we all go through phases, and I've talked about this many times, of that you don't even have to have a medical issue. This can just be general for everyone. But we all go through phases, and it is, if something happened, it magnifies, you know, these phases of your life and how well you're going to handle the situation. And you know, I hate to break it, but you're gonna have days where you're just struggling and you're just like angry and you're amped up and you're like, you know, screw this. And then you're gonna have days where you're gonna cry and you're gonna be like, why? And then you're gonna have days where you're like, I've got this. And you're gonna be a cheerleader, and you know, you're like, that everything's great. And you know, then you're gonna have days where you're gonna be like, what in the hell? You're gonna question everything. You're just gonna be in shock. There's just too much going on. Aside from our medical issues, this whole world is just like psychotic at this point. Psychotic. It is just, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. Respect went out the door like a long time ago, but now attention's being brought to it. So I really don't understand why it's hard to get along with people. You know, I'm taping in my bedroom and my dogs are trying to get in. So that's the sound. Always have to have a little humor in my videos. So, but anyways, so, you know, I am an observer. So, I do not treat anyone like dirt. I quietly sit and observe people, and I come to my conclusions based on my observations. Not a one day observation, but a lot of observations. And that's when I start forming an opinion. It has nothing to do with anything else, it's just how they're conducting themselves. That's when I judge. How do you conduct yourself? Otherwise, I don't care if you believe in magic dragons. I don't care what. I mean, more power to you. My judgment comes on how you treat other people. That's it. It's the way we should all judge how someone's treating one another. So I think this country right now is just so sensitive at this point, and everyone is just like not hearing each other out, and everyone has a right to their own opinion. This is just my opinion. I respect everyone, initially respect, and if you give me something to not respect, then that's when I won't. So, it's just hard. So, this is just part of phases that I've written about. So, we all go through phases. And trust me when I say you will have better days, and you will have more good days and bad days. But for some reason, when you have that bad day, it like totally erases like any thought of all those good days. So I want you to remember that when you have a bad day, to remember all the good days. That's my advice, because it's so easy when something bad happens that you're just like, you don't even think everything that good has happened is just gone, and you're just like in the fetal position and just sad and angry, and you know, I get it, I feel it. I always say, feel your emotions. Your emotions need to come out. Don't suppress them, but don't forget about all the other good days that have happened. So that's something I have to put into practice too. There have been many good days. So what's happened this week can't erase that. So I'm going to start off by talking about a couple good things. So, one, my short hair that I always put this like little headband on because the back is getting long. I finally can have a little ponytail, so I'm happy. I finally can put my hair back in a ponytail. Might seem stupid, but I'm happy. Progress. Hair is growing. It's great. So, I got this necklace that says hope, and today, perfectly needed today. I helped out and did something for jewelry called J Bloom, and hosted a jewelry party. I'm not one to host anything, but because I like doing computer graphics, I was like, well, okay, sure, I'll help out. So, anyways, I got some sales and I was able to get a free necklace, and I love. I got to pick it out, and I picked out Harper because that's my message. So, other good things that are going on. I have a trip to Arizona in a couple of months, and I'm so happy to be in warm weather. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but I am in the Midwest, and it's cold. It's like Antarctic cold. And today I had to go to the store, and my car wouldn't start because it's that cold. So my lovely, wonderful father came over, jumpstart my car so his daughter could go to Target. So bonus on that. Today I had the day off. That's another good thing. No headache today. I will say yesterday was so bad that I actually did think I was going to have a stroke or ruptured aneurysm. It was like my head was like pounding so god awful, and I was like, oh my god, here we go. And so I had to sleep it off, and like my muscles are actually very tense from yesterday. Like I just blah. So I just need to like relax. So we're going in the weekend. I think the high will be -8, so that's a plus. And I think by the end of the week it may go back to 40. I'll be happy with 20. So this is why I do not like January and I do not like February. They are what I call just awful months. They really are. I mean, the holidays are over and it's like, oh, now we got this slump. And March is kind of starting to fall in that category. I hate to say it, March, but you kind of suck too. You kind of are thrown in because it's like winter. So we need to get better about that. I don't know what's going on in this world, but March used to be warm with thunderstorms, and I would like that. That's all I want. I don't want to win the lottery. I want to give me some freaking storms and some warm weather. I would be very happy, girl. Seems simple, right? So, anyways, like I said, kind of hard for me to do these long topics. So, new background, bedroom, whiny dogs outside. I found, I just wanted to show off to some fun things since we're all stuck in this together, but I got a dinosaur face mask. Fun fact, I love dinosaurs. Big dinosaur person. And pigs. Very strange, right? So, like, this is what I'm coming to. I'm starting to, like, get masks to go with my outfits. This is what we've come to. But I really do like this dinosaur mask, and it has a little bendy thing. So that way, yeah. And the bonus about the mask, too, everyone that hates wearing masks during the winter time, very beneficial. I think even when this thing is over with, I will use my mask during the winter time. This really does help. Why didn't we all think about this a long time ago? So I'm very used to wearing masks now, so it's not a big deal, but not like I really go anywhere because I work from home. Who knows when we go back to work or what it looks like when we do go back to work. I don't think that we're ever going to go back to working like everyone together at the same time. There's, for my company, there's just way too many of us, so I don't know. I wouldn't mind going in maybe once a week, once a month, but I feel like I get more done being at home. So the only thing I miss is like going out and getting together with friends and doing stuff. So who knows when that will change. So anyways, I know this is kind of a random like topic of the day type situation. It's kind of me venting, tips, how I'm feeling. I was gonna write a blog and I just was not in the right headspace to be writing a blog because it would have been pretty sad to read. So anyways, anyone going through this, just know this is normal and better days are ahead and they will happen. So hold on to that. So if it helps, every time something good happens, write it down. And that way, when something bad happens, go back, read it, remind yourself of something good that happened. So I think that's a good thing. It's easy for us to journal about like bad things and like what happens, and it's like when something good is happening, we tend to not note it because everything's going good. Why do we need to say anything? So I would suggest that, noting what's going on good in your life is great as a daily, a reminder when you're like going through and you feel like the world is like crushing you, that, a reference page of all these good things that have happened, or, something that made you laugh. I have videos that I've stumbled across that like crack me up every time, so I will watch those over. My friends are pretty funny, so sometimes I go back through text messages and reread them, and I'm like, oh my god, this is funny. And one of my best friends for almost 2 decades, her and I do like a memory of the day now. And that is very amusing. So I suggest